Okay. Anyway, big aloha to you all, whether you're in Hawaii, Italy, or wherever you're coming from. Big aloha. It's wonderful for all of us to share our time in the interest of sharing ukulele. So before we begin, I wanna welcome especially Kaimana Souza, whose family runs Kanilea ukulele here in Hawaii. Kaimana is thinking of maybe doing some projects with Mana'o Ukulele, that's us. And so we invited him to come and share this session with us. So Kaimana, welcome. Welcome to you also, Francesca. It's wonderful to see you again. And we very much look forward to sharing ukulele with you. And to the rest of you Mana'o guys, how's it? How we doing? Nice to see you all. Okay, let's get to introductions. I thank you for the opportunity of talking about introductions because we're going to have a wonderful time with introductions. What we're able to learn with regard to introductions is limitless. So all I'm going to try and do in this session is kind of to light the fuse with introductions, and we'll be off and running into what I hope will be a series of introductions. Okay, first of all, let me grab my ukulele, and I want you just to listen to this chord. Don't worry, don't look at my left hand and be concerned about the name of the chord or how I'm holding this chord. All I want you to do is to listen carefully to this sound. Okay, here it comes. Not affirmative if you can hear that. Can you hear that? Good, okay. As I listen to this, this sound tells me that there needs to be a resolution. Can you hear that? It wants to go somewhere. So let me ask you a question. Does it want to go from here to go here? Maybe not. Does it want to go from here to here? Definitely not. Does it want to go from here? Listen very carefully. To here. Yes? Is that the resolution? Sound-wise, yes? Okay, people. That progression, which goes from irresolution, wanting resolution, to the resolution, is the most important progression in music. Why? Because here it creates tension. And when we go here, we go like this. Don't we? What does that have to do with introductions? You know what? The purpose of an introduction is just to create a bit of tension. And the resolution is the song itself. I want to say that again. The purpose of an introduction is to create tension. And the resolution of that tension is the song itself. Listen to this. And I just want to show you this because this is going to be our example today of an introduction. I'm holding C, and I'm going to put this finger right here, kind of like a half F, half F position. So I got all of C and half of F, and that gives me that sound. And can you hear that creates a bit of a tension, okay? And that's the resolution. And oh, people, one of the very, very best, easiest introductions you can do is to say Nothing, because the silence is deafening. Listen to this. Okay, let's get back to this. Pretty easy, huh? That's the one other thing we want to mention with regard to introductions, is that they're very, very easy. And they're very, very fun too. Notice I said they're easy and fun. I never said and never will say that introductions are difficult, because they're not. This is an introduction. Now you're trying to figure out what the song is, don't you? There we go. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. And you see, I can use that as an introduction throughout the song if I so choose. You are the master of the music you play. So one of the really fun things about introductions, as far as I'm concerned, is that there are no rigid rules in how you use them. Okay, look at this. The fingering is easy. Now, I'm going to ask my right hand to make a little bit of difference in the rhythm, and I can get this. And on and on and on. Can you see how easy they are? Okay. And I think, well, let's do something else. The word introduction starts with in, because we're going to resolve this tension to hear the song. It's an introduction. But can I use this? Can I use this in addition to being at the beginning of a song, in the middle of the song? The answer is yes. So, you make me happy when skies are gray. You never know how much I love you. Please don't take my sun. Here it comes, shine away. See that? So I can use it as an introduction, and I can use it as what I will call a mid-introduction. Oh, and can we use it at the end of a song? Absolutely. It's an out-introduction, or whatever we call the weekend out. So, you make me happy. No, let's go. We're at the very end of the song. Please don't take my sunshine away. Repeat. Please don't take my sunshine away. Make sense? Pretty easy, huh? So, one of the things that I did a while back was coin the term traduction, because we can use this as an introduction. We can use it as a mid-introduction, space between verses in a song, or we can use it at the end as kind of like an introduction. So let's get rid of the in, the mid, the end, and call it traductions, because I'm hoping that this is going to be the first of a series where we get together periodically and just share traductions, because traductions are like limitless, and the only thing that will limit our enjoyment and usage of introductions is us. So the degree to which we share with one another our own creativity, share, and we pick and choose which traductions we like, is the degree to which we can grow magnificently with ukulele. Let me give you another example. Introduction. One of ukulele's several national anthems. 5'2", eyes are blue. Oh my, what happened to you? Has anybody seen? Here it comes, my gal. Bum, ba-dum, second verse. Bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum, bum, ba-dum, dum. I'm going to the ending. Has anybody seen? Has anybody seen my gal? What kind of questions do you have? No questions?
Kimber, I was just going to say that, the last time we were together, you kind of opened my eyes to introduction when you were working on that Scarborough Fair, and then you kind of worked on an introduction when I was in the room, and then that got me thinking about introductions, and I was working on Malaguena at the time, and then so I started to try to come up with something, and I sort of came up with something. But the other thing that you mentioned is the introduction. You want it to be like you got no idea what the song is. It doesn't sound anything like the song, and then you're surprised what song it is, which was kind of cool. So I did work out an introduction for Malaguena, although I don't know how well it is with hiding the song, but it's some type of introduction that I worked on, and maybe we can play it later or the next time we do a session.
Sure. Sure, because one of the probably the most fun thing about introductions is you get to create your own introduction based on what you prefer to play, which means you get to exercise your own creativity. And you know what, people, don't ever be afraid of exercising your own creativity. The newer we are to ukulele, probably the more reserved we are with regard to sharing something, especially as we learn that. But one of the things we want to do, or the reason why we want to continue and turn this this session with introductions into a series, is the more we expose ourselves to what other people are doing and other people's suggestions, the more ideas we get to input to our own creativity. Let me just show you. The lesson for today, by the way, introductions, is just this. That's all. Start simple. So now, let me show you where we can go with this. I'm saying here, or I can use like a G7, back to the C. You are my sunshine, and on and on and on. Listen to this. Does that sound familiar? We know that as a progression that we see in a lot of songs, but we can also use it as a introduction, as an introduction. Listen to this. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine, and on and on and on. We can take this progression. And what I'm going to do now with this progression is to stay with that same progression, but change the sound of each chord to just jazz it up a little bit. Okay, we go from here. Listen to this progression. and listen to it as one musical sentence rather than a series of 4 chords. What I'm going to do now is stick to that same progression, but jazz up each chord. Here we go. Can you hear that that progression is still there? The application. Bum, 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 ba-dum. Bum, 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 ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Here it comes, my gal. And all I did there was to play the same progression, jazz up each chord in a different position. And that's on page like 13, based on what I hope will be a series. But let's get back to our introduction. It's just this. Any questions? Okay, here's what I think.
Yes, yes. I have one question, and it annoys me. It just annoys me so much, Kimo Hussey, is why can you make things look and sound so bloody simple, right? Because, I mean, duh, it's like, duh. So we got the chords of the song, we know the progression, you just need to think about taking some of them and trying them out. It's like, duh. It's like, thank you, Kimo. I now feel enlightened again. Thank you.
That actually is a very, very good question. And people, I want to tell you seriously that the only difference between your ukulele playing and mine is that I've been at it longer. I started playing the ukulele when I was, my mother told me that, when I was 5 years old. So I've been at it for a while. So what I am trying to do, and what we in Mana'o Ukulele are trying to do, is to take our collective Mana'o. Mana'o in Hawaiian means your thought, your bank of thought, your bank of learning, ideas, and share that. And so what I choose to share with you, again, is the only difference between my playing and yours is I've been at it longer. Does that mean I enjoy ukulele more than you? Answer is no. No. It means that if we plan our practices and plan them well, we can learn. And we can learn much more than just C, F, and G7. So let me get back to introductions. Basically, I think the big thing with introductions that we can take from this initial session is introductions has to do with an idea that you come up with, that you're going to plant in the ears of the listener, that creates tension. The resolution is the song itself. Why is that so important? Because what composers do in the music that they share with us is to put these examples of resolution throughout the music. And so it's tension, release, tension, release, tension, release. Let me ask you a question. Tell me how you feel if I did this. Make me happy when the skies are gray. There it is. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine. How did you feel when I stopped Waiting. How did you feel when I
Tense,
stopped?
very tense.
Very tense. Why? Because I didn't resolve it. And people, you know what? One of the things I love pointing out to people is that more often than not, we gloss over resolutions because we're so geared to figuring out what's coming up next that sometimes we forget we're here. And what we do is bypass resolution. Listen to this. Please don't take my sunshine. Now I need to resolve it, right? My sunshine. Oh, here. Hear that? Hear the difference in sound? I'm getting closer to the resolution, but I'm not there yet. And so you see, this release is so, so important. And what we try to do in Mana'o and all the work that we do with ukulele is share with people how to create these releases, because the degree to which we create these releases is the degree to which we learn more and more with ukulele. So what I'd like to do is not go on forever because there comes a certain time when we learn anything where we have to take a concept, take an idea, and in this situation, take this and go sequester ourselves in the shower. Be sure you take a waterproof ukulele with you, and just practice these things. Take the thoughts and practice. And remember, they're easy and they're fun, but they're not difficult. I think it would be really fun, Francesca, since we decided to do this based on your ideas with regard to introductions, that if you could maybe share another video with us in the future where you can share with us um, some introductions that you've learned. And as we share this video with Ukulele Dum, maybe we can get some other people to share their introductions with us and grow this thing into a wonderful, wonderful series. Because sharing introductions is a great, great way to get into the song where we can share everything else. There. Okay, I'm done for this time, and look forward to when we do this again. But before we end this, what are your questions? Anything at all, even from now, Francesca? Kaimana, you got any questions, buddy?
I'm just soaking it in.
Good.
Yep.
I
Francesca,
have a question for you, Kimo.
Go ahead.
Although I think I know the answer to this one for the purpose of our viewers. Is it ever too late to start learning ukulele?
I did a workshop once, and this is the longest workshop that I do. And this workshop is about 1 week long. It goes for 5 nights and 6 days in Canada. And so that much ukulele is a huge concentration. 1 year in Canada, I had this lady who came as a student, and she was 85 years old. And she was an absolute beginner. Uh, didn't even feel comfortable yet just holding the ukulele, and she did quite well because it was a matter of me as a teacher making sure that I didn't get in the way of her relationship with the ukulele. And what the ukulele did was provide her a means of having a ton of fun. She was an absolute beginner, and she was 85 years old. So the answer to your question is no limitations. The only limitations we put on ukulele are the ones that we put on ourselves. So get rid of them, and practicing introductions is a great way to do it. Any other questions you have?
Well,
What question? Go ahead, Francesca,
sorry.
go ahead.
It's not really a question, but is I want to add a little bit to what you just said.
Oh, good.
Because
Good. Go ahead.
first of all, I'm among ones, even though I'm not yet 85. But I am among those that started as an adult and with the ukulele, because I've been a vocalist for many years. And so I think there's no age for when you have a passion, there's no age to
Right.
start. You only have to have a good health, be positive, be optimistic, and have time to practice. I think
That's
these
correct.
are the three fundamental things. And
Right.
but anyway, the introduction for me, I want to be short because there's a lot to say. Is first of all, because I've started as an adult, so I try to run against the time that goes fast. So I try to put all the things together, and the more I learn, the more I want to add to my music. So when I did that introduction, I thought I wanted to share with the group, but
Great.
then it was a moment of study because I performed that song in a recent gig, but my camera died, the battery died, so
Oh,
it didn't. But it's okay. I mean, it was the first time I performed the song, and it was not perfect, and I still am improving that. But I want to say that I thought I wanted to share with the group, but then I thought, okay, I don't want to put my stuff in the group. I think it's not fair. I don't want to how do you say, to show off the things that I do. So I prefer to share in my personal Facebook page and on Instagram.
yeah.
And then I think Grant came and said, "Oh, look what Francesca did," and he shared in the group, and I was happy. I mean, because it if everything we do, it's an occasion to have other ideas and to share with people. I think it's a good thing. But this is the story behind the video. So anyway, I think every introduction is a story into a story.
That's
Because
exactly right.
in my case, it was because I've been learning this technique, the two fingers technique, for 1 month.
Uh-huh.
So, and I played, I studied with my teacher, Neil Chin, and we did the same progression in another key. So I
Right.
thought I would be nice to apply that to a song. And I did it from the beginning to the end, as you saw. And I told Neil, maybe it's too long, because the music for me has a meaning in terms of feelings and sharing with people, not to show off what you are able to do, which is something completely different that I don't like. So I thought maybe it's too long, and I don't want to bother the audience with this with this progression. And he said, but it's nice. It has a meaning. I wanted to advocate the because the song is walking by the river, to think about the creative atmosphere of the water. Is
Right.
someone that is walking along the river waiting for someone, is an appointment with someone. So I thought, okay, I can do that because it's a nice introduction, and I take my time. But that is the introduction before the verse. So it's like an intro before the intro. So so there are many
Wonderful.
things involved every time we do an introduction, because it
That's correct.
depends. It depends if it's the intro or the introduction directly before the song, or before the verse. And being a vocalist, for me, the lyrics are fundamental, are
Right.
is a paramount. So the introduction the chord progression that I do is the introduction to the song, but to the lyrics that I'm going to sing in the verse. So as you see, there are so many things involved that every intro for me is an old story made of the feelings that I want to share with the song, the meaning
Got it.
of the song, and the things that I'm learning that I'm eager to put in the song. But not because I want to show off what I'm able to do, but because everything I do technically has a meaning in terms of feelings and the, the, the message that the song is conveying.
Right. Understand. Thank you. Thank you for that input. Several things, Francesca. First of all, I'm sorry that your battery gave out when you were trying to do that recording. But all that'll do is we'll give you a rain check because we're expecting that in a follow-on session that you will share your introductions with us. Sharing is key. Sharing is key. One of the things about introductions, especially as you have talked about it, Francesca, is when we learn a song, we take everything that about that song that we want to do in order to share with the person. And let's say that it's this much. This is the beginning of the song, and this is the end of the song. And in the middle comes all of the chords and words and everything that we share with other people to show people what we enjoy about that song. This is a song. What introductions provide us is a very small song that has all of the same inputs in it as the big song. So it's a micro approach to a song, which is a wonderful, wonderful way of what I call coming in the side door to learning to play the ukulele. Thanks for that input. Any other input questions we have from the gallery?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So I want to respond just a little to Francesca. And first of all, I want to say thank you for not being mad at me from sharing what you're doing, because that is the pure essence of what Mana'o is all about. And to be more specific to that, from a actually, Francesca, can you mute for a second? Because I think it's creating that echo. That's it, perfect. So, but the thing that we're trying to do here is I am not a professional musician. Randy is not a professional musician. And so what we are here and responsible for is consumer advocacy, right? But that doesn't mean to say I'm not going to post a song. I just did one today and put it out there, warts and all. But that's what we need. That's what we want people in Mana'o to start doing. We want to grow a community that are willing to share what they have and the joys of quality instruments and introductions and fills in the middle and so on and so forth. The more we do that, the more we're sharing our Mana'o. Okay, so do not hesitate. And everyone else that is going to watch this, please share this video with the folks out there, because we want to encourage more and more people to come in and receive the Mana'o that we're trying to put out there. And so that's my kind of key point, guys.
So
Thanks for that. That's very appropriate. And I want to tell Mana'o and Francesca and Kaimana that the big difference between what we do in Mana'o in sharing ukulele is that the information we share is not necessarily about entertainment. It is about education. So when we share anything like sharing introductions, it's about education. It's about sharing, as opposed to showing people how well a person does anything with regard to ukulele. So it's a non-ego approach, I think, which works very well. Any other input? None. Okay, so let us say, especially to Kaimana, and Francesca. Thank you for coming. Francesca, we look forward to hearing back from you whenever you're ready to share with us not only the introductions or introduction that you're doing, because as we share in the beginning, just where to put our fingers. After that comes really wonderful ideas on application. So unless there are any more input, we're done. Kaimana, if you would stay in contact with whoever you're staying in contact about what we can do to help you, just go ahead and do that. We look forward to helping you as best we can.
Yeah, Kaimana,
Yeah,
maybe we can
thank
catch
you.
up in a few minutes after this.
Sure. Yeah, I want to say just thank you for having me today. I've learned a lot. The playing and the introduction and the songwriting, that's certainly not my forte, and I'm always eager to learn, and I appreciate the mana'o that I've received today.
Cool. Okay, then we're done for now. We would ask Kaimana and Francesca if you could sign off, and then the rest of us will stay and we'll have a brief administrative meeting. Bye, Kaimana.
Thank you, everyone.
Care,
Thank
Francesca,
you, everyone.
Kaimana.
Thank you, everyone. Bye
Grazie.
bye.
Grazie.
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 Ciao. Ciao. Arrivederci.
Ciao. Okay, Mana'o, here we are with an administrative meeting, and we'll let Randy run that. But before that, one quick thing. I like how we're growing, and this thing with introductions is a good way for us to do it, because hopefully Francesca will see that we're interested not only in sharing our mana'o with her, but we're sharing our mana'o with everybody. So you know what? Whomever you guys are talking to about how we can help, always, when it's possible, try and turn it into a series.
Absolutely. Hey, Randy, do you want to stop recording?
Yes.
Oh, so